Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're gonna finish up this 1988 fj62. This has been several weeks in the making. I just got back from the great race, so it's finally time to go through and give her a final polish after I had machine polished her, given a little bit of a tune-up, and gotten her to the state that she is right now. I'm super proud of this truck. As you would have seen if you've been following the channel for quite some time, this truck looked like it was ready for the junkyard when I pulled it out of the last gentleman's and owner's backyard. So let's take a quick look at what she looks like before she goes online.
Oh, hiya guys, you're back early. How's the toothache, bub?
So as you can see, the fj62 is sort of coming together. The interior is going back in from bits and pieces that I had, because if you remember from the first video when I brought this truck home, it had no interior. One thing that I'm working on right now is putting the back seat in. Let me show you how that kind of works, because sometimes it can be confusing if you're trying to get it all out and rip your carpet out. So on the upper back seat, there are these knobs on either side, and they are fastened down with these guys right here. Unfortunately, I had to go dig through some parts trucks to find those. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in. Let me show you exactly how those go in the truck. Look here, that little hinge will lay right here with the seat. And in return, you're gonna be putting this in there like so. Oh, sorry, it's backwards, like so right there to hold the seat clamp so it can move back and forth like a hinge. So the last thing to note here when you're putting the back seat in is that you cannot access those hinges without taking the rear carpet off. There is a bracket that goes all the way around, and it has regular screws in it.
No! You threw off my groove!
So I've spent literally all day bringing the interior back on this thing. This truck has loads and loads more work to do, and I am gassed for the day. So I figured I'd do the next best thing and road test this thing. I'm gonna take it up the street, see how she does. I've literally only driven it from its parking spot to the front of Classic Motors. So we're gonna drive up the street here and see what happens. So stay tuned. First initial thoughts, the truck drives so smooth. That is wild, because it looks like it's been sitting since 2017. And geez, she gets up to snuff and rocks and rolls. So that's great news. Got a lot of kinks to work out, but we'll get there. We will get there. So I spent the last couple of hours using this electric polisher to bring back the fj62 paint. If somebody told me this was the same truck that I was working on last week, I'd think they were crazy. So basically what I got into is I used the same rubbing compound that I spoke about in the last segment of the video, which is this 3M stuff here. So I finished that off on the entire truck. After that, I wiped it smooth with some terry cloths and then moved to this machine polished 3M stuff. So that was the stuff that really finally brought the shine back. I believe that this truck looks like it was just freshly painted. You be the judge. Leave a comment below. What do you guys think? Should I do anything else to the paint?
It is lovely, just beautiful. You know you are quite a decorator. It's amazing what you've done with such a modest budget. I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
So as we're beginning to approach the time that this truck will go back online, there are a final couple things that I like to do to the trucks, just maintenance wise. I've showed a lot of it in other videos. I'm not gonna take you through everything, but some of the stuff consists of a fuel filter, cap, rotor, plugs, and that's pretty much it. I might go ahead and change the oil. Oil doesn't look too bad. The coolant doesn't look too bad either, but I do also like to look through all the fluids just in case. But in this case, we don't need to do that. So let's get to work. Let's get some of this stuff done. That's the Landcruiser tune-up. So the baby tune-up is all finished. I didn't want to bore everybody by taking them through all the classic tune-up stuff that I do, but we're gonna see if this thing fires up and see if she runs any better. So let's see what happens. This is a pretty cool moment. The blue truck is getting its first tank of gas after being off the road for several years and fixing the fuel pump. So we're doing that right now, slinging some gas into it, and then we're gonna go take some pictures of her. Well, we just got to my favorite place to snag some pictures. Not gonna take you through that process, but I can't tell you how well this truck drives. I am just in awe that it's been sitting all this time, and it drives great, tracks straight, starts up every time, and I can't think of a more beautiful day to be out in a 62 driving around. It's blue skies, puffy clouds. Let's get some work done. Well, she made it here. And I'm pretty sure everybody I passed on the way here, their necks were about to break off as she passed, because she's like a streamlined butterfly now. She's gorgeous. This color really pops now. It kind of hurts my heart to get rid of her because I really generally like this color on a cruiser. But you know, now that we're out here, let's recap everything I did to get her to this point. And trust me, there was a lot. The biggest thing that was done to the truck is that the entire interior was ripped out and cleaned. This truck came to me with Land Rover seating, as well as holes and different types of seat belts. So all that stuff needed to be corrected. I had to get a few parts from all my parts trucks to get her to this point. But as you can see, the interior is all in one piece. It is beautiful now. We have our second row seat back here that did not exist when I got the truck. We have our vinyl side wheel covers. And as you notice, there's a carpet in here now. Again, this front bumper is beautiful. I can thank one of my viewers and friends, Sean, for that bumper. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it. It brings out the whole front end here, because when I got this truck, the entire front bumper was crunched in, and stuff like that, that's all chromed. It needs to be perfect so that it really makes the truck shine, because it's one of the first things that you see. Taking us to the rear cargo area, as you notice, there are rear speakers, which is factory for an FJ62, but when I got the truck, both those were ripped out because there were the Land Rover seats going in. So had to find and track down all that stuff that was in boxes and pans and thrown all over the truck, but we in fact did get that back in, and the stereo works awesome. It's actually one of the better stereos on a used 62 that I've picked up before, and it's such a pleasure to blast music and some oldies when you're going down the road. Yep, that's a center console. This truck did come with one originally, but it was not installed and it was in a million pieces. Most of the stuff was broken and not in the best shape, so I had to source a lot of that stuff, which I had hanging around my shop, and put her back together, and she's all in working order now. So that's gonna be a quick synopsis of this truck right behind me. I know that I didn't go through absolutely everything that I did to the truck, but I didn't want to bore you guys with that stuff. One thing's for sure, that the person that owned this before me really enjoyed it and loved it. Everything works on this thing. The lights work, the power mirrors work, and all the windows go up and down. And this includes the motor. It runs great, starts up, sounds awesome, and all the fluids were clean and they weren't leaking. How many trucks can you say that look like that pulled out of somebody's backyard? All I gotta say is that this truck has been a joy to work on, and I can't wait to send it on to its new owners. So if you're interested in this truck or any of the content or other trucks that I have, please reach out to me through the comments or through email. I'd love to talk to you about maybe getting this truck to you, as well as any of the other ones I own. You can also subscribe to the channel, like and share these videos to stay up to date with everything that I put out weekly. Cheers! I'm so glad you stopped by, and thanks for all